What's up, guys? It's me, Spaz Phoenix, YWC, Reality Check, blah blah blah. Not doing a Raw review tonight. I might talk about Raw later this week. We might end up talking a bit about Raw on Paradise or whatever happens next. Definitely not doing any kind of a Raw review tonight. There's a lot of stuff that happened on Raw. There's a lot of stuff, going towards Night of Champions, Bret Hart being there, etc. It's not the story right now. The story right now is the health and the well-being of Jerry Lawler. Anybody who didn't see Raw for whatever reason and hasn't, basically has stuck their head in a black hood and not paid attention to anything, or Facebook or Twitter or whatever, Jerry Lawler had some kind of episode, whether it was a heart attack or some kind of seizure or some kind of other attack, basically during a tag team match between Primetime Players and Daniel Bryan and Kane, and was taken out, attended to by the WWE physicians, who always do a hell of a job. I've had the pleasure of listening to various podcasts with Jimmy Corderas, where he's spoken at length about the medical staff and the caretakers and that sort of thing in the WWE, and thank God, or thank whoever you believe in, that those guys are there and were able to attend to Jerry Lawler quite quickly. He was given CPR. He was rushed off to a medical facility somewhere in Montreal, because that's where they were tonight, and it was announced sort of from then on by Michael Cole that, okay, he's breathing, okay, his heart is beating, he's breathing on his own, his heart's beating on his own, he's responding to light, he's going in for a CAT scan or whatever other tests he has to run. One thing I will say, and this is not to divert any attention away from Michael Cole, or from Jerry Lawler, but Michael Cole, I have unbelievable new respect for Michael Cole and the way he continued on in the show tonight. To anybody that's going to say, oh, well, they should have stopped the show, get the fuck over yourself. It's not about you. It's not about your opinion of what they should or shouldn't have done. It's the way it is. We saw it with the Owen Hart disaster, and we see it again here tonight. The show will go on. Michael Cole handled himself like a professional, with all the respect due of a professional, showing his open respect, as we all have for Jerry Lawler. All of us have had our, things, we wish Lawler did this or that differently. Fuck all that. Really, truly, fuck all that. Lawler's somebody we've all known for years. Lawler's somebody who's been in our ear while we've been watching wrestling for years upon years upon years. He is one of, with all due respect to the JRs and the Gordon Solys and all those kind of guys, Jerry the King Lawler is one of the voices of wrestling. To the point where he was even in a match earlier tonight, and yeah, I don't know what else to say other than to be in that crowd, or to be anybody watching the show tonight, and have that momentary thought that when Lawler stepped in the ring for a couple minutes tonight to tag team with Randy Orton, was it the last time we saw him? And it's a morbid thought, but it's a thought that I'm sure is going through a lot of people's heads, especially anybody sitting in that arena in Montreal, Quebec, Canada tonight. Everybody knows, I've said it 100 times about the delay here in Canada. We are now, with the new time slots, we are delayed an hour. It was actually Alex that popped up on Skype, because this does not, by any stretch of the imagination, fall under the category of a spoiler, and said, yo, holy shit, dude, they just had to card out Lawler. So I got told about it an hour before it happened on my TV, and when it happened on my TV, I'll speak for myself, to go from the banter between Lawler and Cole to pretty much quiet, it was ghostly. And I say that with all due respect, but it was a ghostly, eerie, scary feeling. And, I hear a lot of other people, a lot of people that I respect a lot, say, well, the show was awkward to watch from then on, or the show should have stopped, or the show didn't really have it for the rest of the show. Well, go fuck yourself, honestly. They did the best they could with what they had. The people that were left behind, that are all dealing with this guy that we all have a shit ton of respect for, being in an unsure state. Anybody, from the ring announcers to the TV announcers, to the guy that rings the bell, to the guys in the matches, the guys that were fighting the matches after Lawler was carted out, I can't comprehend it, and anybody else that's trying to judge those people at this particular time can go fuck themselves, as far as I'm concerned. Lawler, What else can I say that won't sound corny or sound like a mark or sound like anything anybody else has already said tonight? You know, we went off the air knowing that he was responsive, knowing that he was breathing, knowing that he was, you know, not mobile, but his circulatory system was running on its own. His breathing was happening on his own. He was responsive. He was aware of things around him and whatnot. And for an hour after an incident like that, I mean, that's pretty positive. I don't want to get everybody's hopes up. I'm not going to pretend to be any kind of medical scientist and say, oh, well, you know, he's out of the woods, because clearly he's not. And clearly the amount of, you know, prayers for Lawler, prayers for Jerry, hashtags that are floating around Twitter and Facebook and whatever, and all the videos that will pop up, you know, as this one is, to extol our well wishes and respect for Jerry the King Lawler and what he is to us and what he is to wrestling, as well as what he is as a human being. Because at the end of the day, take off your crown, take off your wrestling tights, take off your headset, take on whatever, Jerry Lawler, the man, was supposed to go home or supposed to go back to his hotel room tonight, and that didn't happen. And I don't know, let's just hope it can happen really soon. Lawler, you've been in a lot of fights, man. I don't care if this sounds cliche or not. You've fought a bunch of fights and you're going to fight this one too. Can't wait to see you back on the booth, and get well soon, man. Bye.